So this video is from my great friend Jerrick, who I knew it. I did his play-by-play every game he did. So the best player who ever played in that building, oh yeah, Jerrick. That's saying a lot. Eddie Gill, Harold Arsenault, Ruben Nemhart, Jimmy DeGrafferty, Damian Lillard. So this is for him, and this is, I have nowhere to go as an activist anymore. YouTube's got me smashed down. So my activism, I'm at it, just nowhere to post stuff. I'll figure it out. So he in the Czech Republic, he's going crazy. And by the way, all you fools, shit, they didn't show up when Lillard was here. They didn't come. I did every play-by-play game when Lillard was here, almost till I got cancer. Gotta go with that left, Jerrick. Oh, getting better. Sun's in my eyes, coach. Sun's in my eyes. Jerrick Hardy's the best player who ever played in this house. You don't think that's saying a lot? So he's playing for the Czech Republic. Oh, that's just it's the 1990s Bulls of Eastern Europe. The best team in all of Eastern Europe. He's the superstar over there. I knew he would be. I knew. So this is important. I want to put this up for young, because from hard hats to crowns. This is important for young players. I call it Randy Ray's boot camp. Ooh. There are so many players in Europe just tearing it up. The NBA is not sport anymore. This is important for young players. The NBA is not sport. The NBA is nothing but a sports merchandising company. Now, I talked to Jerrick the day he broke the record, that morning, at the WEBER site at the Stewart Library. He and I had a great conversation. I says, and he and I are friends. I'm like, Jerrick, don't go in that supplemental NBA draft like Joe Ballenboy did, like Jeremy Sieglin did. You're just going to waste a year of your life. You'll make plenty of money in Europe. Go over there and be a superstar. It's still a sport over there. It's still a sport over there. It's not a sport here. Damian will tell you. Damian Lillard's about the money. Damian Lillard's all about the money, and he'll tell you that. He'll tell you that. He just recently, I think he made a statement 2 days ago, talking about somebody said in boxing. He says, no, I'm going to spend my hundreds of millions of dollars without brain injuries. He's about the money. More power to him. I told him right there. And I know Damian good. Aren't those little making that jerseys, and aren't their fingers getting sore? The NBA is a sports merchandising company. It is not a sport. It could be a sport a long time ago, about 20 years ago, 21, 22 years ago, when Jordan left. After he drilled the shot, well, I shouldn't say left, but after the Jazz shot, I was sitting right across from him in that game. So this is important, from hard hats to crowns. So this is important for young players here, because there's some superstars in this building on this team. And I'm telling you, superstars. There's some players right now on this Weber State team that will play at the next level, most likely in Europe. I told Jerrick before that, now this will be the game of the century. And it really doesn't matter if this video gets 3 views. It's recorded in history. That morning at the Stewart Library, I talked to Jerrick and I did an interview, and I said, Jerrick, it's your time to shine. I says, you need, 24 points to break the all-time scoring record in the history of this school? That's saying a lot. They're playing Montana. That team was bad that year, and I mean bad. The worst team Randy Ray ever had. He put up 25 in the first half. He had 44. He could have scored easily 50. The all-time record. I talked to Eddie Gill right here, who, by the way, he's so good, he could probably play in the NBA today. That's one great athlete. I says, Eddie, you know that Damian broke your all-time free throw shooter. He did? You didn't know? That's saying a lot. I sat with Paul Thompson in '99 in Seattle. I had breakfast with him that morning. I said, you really going to fire a bagel? You can't do that. I've known him since I was young. I grew up with him. Worst mistake in Weber State history? Oh, yeah. So, Eddie Gill, they won tournament games. The first time I saw Jerrick play, I'm like, whoa. I'll never forget, he's a freshman in that Big Sky Championship game. They're ahead by 7 with 43 seconds to go and lost to that North Dakota team. Wow. I mean, there's been some heartbreaking losses around here. I wonder why. You know, Lillard had by... I did the play-by-play in that game. Lillard was ahead by 20 points at halftime and lost. Montana. The people sitting doing the play-by-play for Montana College Radio when we still had college radio left at halftime. I said, well, we don't want to drive through the storm. The storm's coming. Of course, we don't get no storms anymore, do we? There's no snow in Snow, Utah. It's 55 degrees here, and it's going to be December tomorrow. So, anyway, I wanted to get this up for you young players. And, you know, it's important. From hard hats to crowns. Dick Mott, coach over at the old Swenson. Dick, remember? I have that hard hat. I used to wear it to do the play-by-play, remember? That's a real Dick Mott Bullets hard hat crew. Unsell's hard hat crew. You know, we go from that to what it is now today. The NBA is not a sport. From hard hat. You know, Jelly Bean Brian, I watched him play lots of times. You know, Kobe's money, well, it wasn't Kobe's arrogance, but, I mean, the money's a trap. It's a suicide. I mean, billionaires, I'm sure Lillard's a pretty lonely person. You know, they put a bubble around you and whatever. Don't do it. And, you know, and the NBA is a joke anyway as far as drafting players. You know what Jerrick Hardy would do in the NBA? Oh, he'd be a mega superstar in the NBA. Absolutely. So would Joe Ballenboy. And no doubt in my mind. You know, a bunch of these players that play here would be mega. Jeremy Siegelin would tore it up in the NBA. So would Scotty Bamforth. They're tearing it up in Europe. You know, Damian's cousin, Barry. But the NBA's, they don't look at players to draft them. Lillard, I watched Lillard's freaking high school tapes before I got cancer. He was on the NBA's draft radar in high school. We knew what he was here, but nobody was. Jimmer. Jimmer was a joke. A joke. But he didn't get a play. He broke his foot right before that game. But I'll tell this story. I tell it to nausea. Frank Layden used to come to these games. I'm interviewing Frank for KWCR when I did the play-by-play, me and Manny Gonzalez, you know, for all those years for free. And they killed college radio. I'm like, a guy walks over with his Utah Jazz shirt on, a scout for the Utah Jazz. Hi, Frank. After the game, I'm interviewing Frank. Damon's got a broken foot. He's sitting right there. And what are you doing here? Scouting a player? Yeah. Who are you scouting? I think it was Eastern Washington player. I said, well, your NBA player sitting right there. Pointed at Damian Lillard. Scout laughed. Oh, Lillard's all that is scoring and playing. I mean, we knew it here. Us hardcore fans, we knew he was a first rounder in the NBA. We got to see him play. We knew, but you know that championship loss. Anthony Johnson said, "Oh, I had an out-of-body experience." How do you beat that? Wallace curse. They got a freshman named Dylan Jones that is really something else. They got a sophomore named Sigu who is something else. They got a couple seniors here that are something else. It's the best team they ever had as far as talent-wise. We'll see how it plays out. But this is important for young players. I mean, I've been working with my grandsons, and they're good, and I mean really good. It's the NBA, forget the NBA draft. So I told Jerrick, I said, listen, Jerrick, don't do Jelly Boy. And he says, if they offer you the big contract in Europe, take it. Go over there and have a life. It's still, I mean, it's still a sport over there. You will freaking be a superstar, and you'll make plenty of money. Don't fall for this NBA trap. And the NBA is nothing more than a sports merchandising company. And I see Jerrick's got his Dame thing. He's hooked up with Lillard. Be careful on the sports merchandising. You know, that's all the NBA is. It's not a sport. From hard hats to crowns. I will always support Randy Ray. Always. For one reason. When I got cancer in 2011, the only person on this campus, after they betrayed me and stuck it to me, the new Fawn McKay Brody. They could have paid for my treatment, didn't. My bill was $1.8 million. It's been a devastating 10 years. The only person that looked out for me was Randy Ray on this campus. The only person. Kevin. Sucked up. How is your health? How is the fight? He was, you know, the only person. The only person. You know, well, some of the basketball players. You know, Lillard was here then. From hard hats to crowns. Why do they do so good in Europe here? Because you ever been to Randy Ray practice? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I see Kyle Bollinger is coaching over at Bonneville High School. You know, we were talking about Vern Gardner. He's coaching Vern Gardner's grandson.